So we're gonna do the training for Newton and Franklin. Newton's the point of sale system. I'm gonna stop recording at the end of Newton, and then we're gonna go into Franklin, and then a little bit of data center, just so you guys can kind of know. So what Newton, I'm gonna turn that on. I actually went ahead and made a student data file for us, just so I can post days and everything. So we're just gonna go through, a typical day, and then if you guys have questions along the way, just let me know. I'll try and hit as many things as I can. And common problems I see people have when they send me questions. Awesome. So this will be what the manager computer will look like. They'll have to manually select a cafeteria at the top left, and they could pick their drop down school. I made the healthy school, stationed in South Carolina. All right. Now, actually, let me do this really fast and see if this works for later. Nope. Okay. So we're gonna start today. So this is what the cafeteria should look like if we attached it properly. So they're gonna go straight into their school, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start on operating day, and we're just gonna start today. And at the bottom left, you're gonna see the current operating day. So that's gonna be important for later. So we're gonna start our breakfast, and we're gonna start it for that day. And we're gonna hit main machine, and we're gonna choose a serving line. Now, if there isn't a serving line, let me know, because that's something that I have to set up on the back end, and sometimes, I might forget. Um, so we have a bunch of students. Oh, I think that's someone in a different school. I have to fix that actually. But the top right, if you see here, there's a status number. So 3 is paid, 1 is free. And because this student is in the system, I had my student number as 1,000, so that's why my integer is a little bit off right now. But when that happens, just let me know too, because that's something I can fix on the back end. 1 is free, and then I think 2 is reduced. So I'm just gonna give myself a meal. You can just press enter, or you can just double click my name, and you're gonna see the breakfast meal at the top right. So a lot of people don't see it. So this is the items that are being sold, right? And sometimes I believe at cost meals can be given if you just double click this one. So I've already not allowed a second meal, so it actually won't let me. So we're just gonna hit OK. There, we're gonna hit OK. I've been given a meal. We're gonna go to van, and we're gonna give a meal. No, I think I set the price as free for everyone. That's so bad example, but if you're paid, the price will be here, and if the school is set up to be paid in that way, then they'll have a price, right? And say we're trying to give meals, and accidentally say, oh, we gave Eric a meal on accident, and we didn't mean to. So we're gonna go down here to review transaction, and you're gonna see all the transactions you made, and you can double click on Eric, and you can void that transaction. And just hit OK, and there you go. So it'll go from green to white. And there's certain things that you can do in here, such as key help. at the bottom right, and you can hit alternate, and you can do a group search, and you can do grade. And I think I put us in the 9th grade. Yeah. So it's gonna show. So some schools are gonna have grades that are just 9th graders eating at the time. So this will help. Key help, alternate, group search, which is the middle, and then it's at the very top, and then grade. And then say I filter for 10th graders, no one's gonna show up because everyone's in the 9th grade. And then to delete that, you just go all the way back, key help, alternate, group search, no filter. And there we go.
How would we find out if how many lunches have been purchased? Like, let's say we just did this and we want to see how many. Just review transaction?
Yeah, you can set up down here. I forget what the setting is. I know I've done it in the past. Usually we don't have that, but I'll make that a default thing.
Because
But
one of our schools in Florida, they
yeah.
takes a count after middle school is done with lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them to just finish the line and then restart it, restart lunch, and that way you get an accurate count. But if there's a way that they can do it and just keep the serving line open
Inside the POS. Okay. So what they can do is I'll do that setting for you.
Okay.
Question. Yeah. Go ahead.
Question, Jack. Okay, I noticed that some of the schools they do filter, especially with the smaller kids,
Mm-hmm.
and they have schools with pre-Ks. So how would they filter between pre-K and kindergarten?
So pre-K for most schools are going to be -1 for for pre-K, and then kindergarten is going to be 0.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And then from here, so once I do that setting, the transaction is going to be at the bottom left of here where you hit review transaction, and it's going to give you a number. Just so you know. So say we're done with lunch or breakfast. We're going to quit the serving line. We're going to quit. Hit OK. Exit. Stop the meal. And we're going to close. And then and then if you hit review transactions at the top, this is your breakfast batch right here. And it'll show you all the transactions that you made. It'll still show Eric even though you removed it. And that red strike through means that it's removed. So even from here, say you're going into a meal, sometimes there's an amount tendered. I'm still unsure on how it's shown, but say we put amount tendered, and I gave the lunch lady $10, but I really didn't. It was an input error, right? I'll show you that later on how we can fix that. That's a common issue that happens with people. And now, so say for breakfast, say the computer wasn't connecting and it was too early and I couldn't get up and I couldn't help people. So I'm going to team viewer it in. So I'm going to show people how to connect the secondary computer in this tutorial as well. So it's all inclusive. Let's see. It should be 829 WAV. And you guys can still see this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is Lynn's laptop now. So I installed Newton POS. So common things when it doesn't work, you should check the Wi-Fi. So Lynn's laptop is on Lotus 5G. And mine is also on Lotus 5G. All right. So you have to be on the same Wi-Fi in order to connect it to computers. And you're going to click on this. Most of the time it's going to have this or some type of error where it's saying it can't connect to this specific, I guess, IP address. You're going to hit setup line. You're going to go back to the main computer. So I'm on the main computer now. Let me minimize just so people know. I'm on the main computer. I go to start. I hit CMD for command prompt. I'm going to hit enter. And here I'm going to hit IP config. And from here, there's a lot of numbers, but all you have to look for is that IPv4 address. Right? So we're gonna go back to that secondary computer. We're gonna say use network real time 192.168.1.3. And make sure you're using the dots, and you can't put a space in between these things. It has to be like specific. And then you hit apply, and you're gonna hit OK, and you're gonna network retry. Now the serving line's on.
What if I'm at a school and there's not another computer, but there's 2 serving lines?
What do you mean?
Like I've been on a computer before and there's like multiple serving lines, but they only use 1 computer.
Oh, that's fine. I just put in 3 serving lines usually, just in case they want to put 2 serving lines, but they can pick whichever serving line. It won't.
Right, per day.
Even though there's 1, are you saying they're still running multiple lines?
No.
He said that he puts in like 3 serving lines for the rest of the system.
Yeah, you mean like this? Well, I guess this one won't let me anymore. But like where you can select your serving line, right? And there's 3 of them.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
they could pick whichever one. They're all set up the same. It's just I want schools to be able to use 2 serving lines if they want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm going, and this is the main computer now. I'm going to go into the main.
Can you show them how, or maybe you'll get to it later. Are you going to show them how to retrieve batches for offline computers?
Yep,
Okay.
we'll do. I don't know how to necessarily like shut off the internet on the other computer and do that, but I'll show you where it is. So I'm just gonna give Van a meal, and then I'm gonna go to the secondary computer. So if the internet works like properly, like the way it does, I gave Van a meal on the main computer and it instantly turned green on the secondary computer. Right? I'm gonna give James a meal, and right there, James has a meal. And we're just gonna, no, I'm not gonna give him a meal. We're just gonna give everyone a meal for now. Okay, so from here, when you're exiting, you can exit on both computers, but you're gonna quit the serving line. I'm gonna quit the serving line over here. But make sure you don't stop this meal until the secondary computer is off.
Stop the secondary computer first.
Yeah. And say the internet went off in between, and then the secondary computer doesn't send that batch, and then you leave for the day or something, and you're coming back and you want to resend batches. What you do is you get the 2 computers to connect again, and you're gonna open the secondary computer where you're trying to send a batch. You're gonna get to here, and you're gonna hit cancel. And this button will be lit up for send pending batches, because that means that there's a batch that wasn't sent. And let's just say, I'm gonna stop this meal, right? Let's just say I have these batches right here, and I'm pretty sure this is the secondary computer because I gave more meals on the secondary computer. Say it's gone. It's not here, right? And you go to the secondary computer and you see that you can't send a pending batch. You're gonna send an archived batch, and you're just gonna send today's batch or whichever date you're trying to figure out, and then from there it should work. And then you hit review transactions at the top, and then you're gonna say yes to retrieving them now, and it's gonna show you that one of the batches was received. So from here, I'm gonna exit from the second computer and basically shut it down from the tutorial. So from here, you can do print before posting reports, and whichever things you want to run. Usually it's safe to do line details, initial summary, amount tendered, and then like double card usage and at cost meals. Just so you have everything. So it shows that, I have that amount tendered at 10. which is obviously fake. But then you have all these things, and it'll show you, the amount tendered, what category I was, and everything like that. And then you can post the operating day. So if you hit no cash, usually all our schools don't really collect cash, so they should be clicking on no cash collected. And then you're gonna go into daily figures, and you're gonna look at these figures. So on the top right, or on the far right, you're gonna see that I have a variance of $10. Now that's because it says that I did not collect cash, right? So I mean, if they do collect cash, then there's no variance. But if they don't collect cash and there's this variance, then that means that you need to go back into your transactions. Because say that I posted the day. If I posted this day and I said that Chow gave $10 to the school, and then at the end when I post the day I say, oh, there was no cash collected, it's going to give my account a negative balance. Actually, let's just post the day. Let's just go through it, because that's why I made this fake school, so that we can just do these things and fix the problems. And I guess we should teach people how to reopen days, right? So I'm going to run an account statement really fast.
Well, real quick, when you say reopen days, reopen a day.
Yeah,
do we currently have where we lock the system at some point for previous days?
Say that one more time. No, we don't. We don't.
Why don't we? And should we?
Well, we
sorry.
should.
I think we should, but why don't we?
Wait. Okay, so I unmuted. So when I ran the account statement, it looks like it gives my account $10, which, I mean, it shouldn't. But we're going to reopen that day. And we're going to click on that day, and we're going to reopen. So reopen is at the top left. And if you need to make changes, if you have like tally sheets afterwards and you need a bulk entry, if you do want to, I know some schools do a bulk entry. If they do tally sheets, this is the place where you would put it. You would put it under AE breakfast and AE lunch. But I'm going to remove this variance really fast. So I'm going to go into breakfast, and I'm actually going to hit sort by amount tendered, because usually, we're not going to just have 10 students. And then it's going to bring it down to the bottom, but if you hit it again, it'll bring it back to the top. I'm just going to edit the transaction, and I'm just going to change this amount tendered to 0. And I'm going to hit OK. And then I'm going to go back to posting that day. And I'm going to say we took some tally sheets in the classroom, and we had like 14 kids that had lunch and 14 kids that had breakfast and 18 kids that had lunch. And then I'm just going to post this day. Yes, that's okay. Usually when that pops up, it's an attendance thing. usually I just hit yes. If your numbers are right and you're serving the correct kids, then you're right. Obviously, at that moment, it wasn't because there's only, I think, eight people that are enrolled in this school, and I tried to give it so many meals. So afterwards, if you want to check that your meals are posted, you're just gonna go recap, run that recap, sales and revenue, and then recap and reconciliation under reports and letters. And you're gonna see that five paid kids, 8, 1 free, 1 reduced, and then the area eligible is that bulk entry. Now, if you're a CEP school, they're all gonna show up under area eligible, and then your bulk entry gets added on top. So I know some schools that are CEP, they'll do their meal processes, and then say they have 14 kids that eat, and then they put 14 in that bulk entry, and then their number gets doubled to 28. So if your numbers are being doubled, most likely it's because you don't need to put a bulk entry because you already have your kids going in the line. Yeah, so here's lunch, and that's how you know that the day was posted.
When should you ever need to put in a bulk entry?
Tally sheets. Like if you're doing tally sheets. Like I think
What about breakfast and suppers?
yeah, supper too.
Snacks and suppers, I'm sorry.
Yeah, snacks and suppers as well.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna go into here and change this really fast. I'm just gonna change the date of this because this would usually happen if, say, the internet ran out and the person that came on didn't post a day, and now you have 2 different days for 2 different serve dates. When you go to post the date, it's gonna give you a serve mismatch date. Serving date mismatch. You're attempting to post serving line batches that were served on a day other than the day being posted. So from here, you're gonna go to review transactions, and you're gonna sort by serve date. And at the bottom left, you're going to see that we have the operating day Thursday, August 29th open, right? So you're gonna click on the batch that does not match with the bottom left, and you're gonna hit toggle skip. And you're gonna close it, and you're gonna post it. At this point, I'm just gonna hit 0 here. And say we had like some snacks and some suppers, and we're just gonna post it. And you're gonna see in review transactions again, you're gonna see that there's 1 batch left that we did not post. So for this day, if you're gonna reopen past days and the day isn't here, you're gonna just start a new operating day, and it's for the 28th. And then you're gonna go into review transactions, and you're just gonna toggle skip, and then you're gonna post that day. No cash collected, reviewed, hit OK. Now, let me make sure I gave everything. I couldn't give an at cost meal, which is okay. We already have a video for that inside of the video playlist. Amount tender I went over, double card usage. I don't know how to make that error, so I have a video on that too. We did recovering lost batches. Yeah, I think that's it for this portion. I'm gonna stop the recording just because